All right, so welcome everyone to Fessor Pro live session. So today we will be discussing about Fyers API. Okay, so I'll show you all the use cases and how to design an end-to-end strategies. Now, this I won't be able to cover in one session, so we will be having multiple sessions. So today is the first session, and we will be having these Fyers session every Thursday. I think it would take around 5 to 6 weeks to cover all the things that I want to cover. Okay. Now, a little bit about Fessor Pro. So, I have this live community on school.com. So, if any one of you want to join, you can join in. So, here we discuss every Thursday, we discuss a new strategy. And if you have any doubt related to con trading or any doubt related to finance, you can just post your doubt and I'll try to solve your solution. I'll try to solve your query on this website. Okay, so let's start with the Fyers API. Now, in order to follow along for this session, you need an account on this website called Fyers.in. So this is an Indian broker. Now, whatever I will teach you for this broker, you can use the same concept for any other broker uh, in any other nation. Okay, whether you are dealing with Alpaca, whether you are dealing with Singapore related broker, all of them have like more or less same type of API features. Okay, so you can take this as a reference and you can use any broker. You can go for uh, Zerodha broker, you can go for Alice Blue. Okay, now once you have created an account, you have to click on product and click on Fyers Web and click on Access Fyers Web. This is how their trading terminal looks like. So it's a web based trading platform. So right now the market is closed. You can see all the major instruments I cannot trade, but fortunately MCX is open, so I can still see few instruments being active. Like you can see, this is crude oil, which is active, and I have gold 24 October future, which is also active. So when I will be explaining you about WebSocket, I'll use these two instruments. A little bit more about this platform. Now, this is on the right side. You can see the watch list. So they are using the Trading View charting uh, APIs. So this entire charting view that you see is looks quite similar to Trading View. They are using their API. And if you go to the bottom, you can see the different section, like they have position, orders, all position, holding, funds. So right now I've added 1,000 rupees onto this account. um, Now, whenever you take any trade, once the order gets filled, you'll see the instrument added to your position. If the order is not filled, if it got cancelled or if it's still in process, so you'll see that orders in the order section. All right, these two are the important section. And yeah, all the other functionality you can explore on your own. Now let's move to API. So if you go to their home page again, if you click on product and if you scroll down, you will find a section for developers, right? So in developers, they have Fyers API. So I'll just click on Fyers API. Once you click on Fyers API, you have to click on request access. So I'll click on request access, click on get started. So this is how the dashboard look like. So you have to create a new app. Now, whenever you go for any broker, the first step would be that the broker is going to give you API key and secret key. Okay, once you have the credential, then only you can trade. Without those credential, you cannot trade. So the same thing is applicable for Fyers broker. So you just have to create an app. So click on create an app. You can give a name to your app. Let's me call this September 12. Redirect URL. So what is this redirect URL? Now, once you verify yourself, then the API will take you to some website. And this website can be anything. You can go to google.com, you can go to instagram.com. So I'll go to fessorpro.com. Okay, so I'll just copy the link and I would just paste it here. So any website link you can add. I'll repeat again. Once you verify yourself, I'll show you what do I mean in few minutes. But once you verify yourself, it will redirect you to this website, that is fessorpro.com. You can also add google.com. You can give some description. This is an optional section. So I'll just write Fessor Pro September Fyers API. Now, if you scroll down, you need to give some permission. So I'll just click on profile detail, transaction info, order placement, codes, historical data. I accept the API usage. This is again an optional thing. If you want, you can delete this. You can, if you want, you can keep it as it is. Then click on create app. Now for this session, I would be revealing all my credential. I don't want you to reveal your credential to anyone because after the session, I'm going to change everything. Click on create an app. Am I missing something? I'll just delete this. Now the app is created. Now I've created multiple apps. So this is the one that I created just now. If you just click on this three dot, just click on visit FyersV3 12. Edit. So there are two things. One is this API ID and one is the secret ID. Okay, these two information we would be needing. All right, so let's go to our VS Code now. Now here first I'll create a virtual environment because I don't want to create any package conflict with my global interpreter. So how to create a virtual environment in VS Code? You just have to go to view command palette, click on create virtual environment, click on VNV. I'm going to use 3.12.2 and I would request all of you to use the same because if you use some other version, so the code that I'm writing might not work in your computer. So make sure you use the same Python version. You can use the higher version too, but try not to use the lower version. So I'll just click on it. It will create a virtual environment. I'll make a new file called login automation. Just login.py. Now let's go to their API documentation too. So if you click on their API website and if you scroll down, you'll find their API documentation, read detailed API documentation. And they have launched a version 3. So you can see they have a version 3 doc. So this is what we will be referring to in order to understand how to use their API. Okay. Now I'll create another file called credentials.py. Now why am I making this credentials.py? Because what I'll do, I'll add all of my credential into this file. And if I want to access my credential, I'll use this file as a reference. I don't have to reveal my credential every time I run a code. Okay, like let me give you an example. Let's say if I make a variable called id is equal to xgpa, okay, and I'll make a password is equal to 123. Now let's say these are the two credential that I don't want to show you, okay, or I don't want to give it to anyone. So what I'll do, I'll write it in a file. Now if I want to access this data from another file, I'll just import the file. So I'll write import credential as crs, and I'll write crs dot id. Okay, I'll just print this. Print. I'll write crs dot id, comma crs dot password. So if I run this code, I'm able to access the data from another file. Okay, so this is what I will be doing. Any crucial information that I don't want to share, I'll write it in this credentials.py and I'll import it. Now, if you try to run the same code, make sure that you change this file. Okay, if you don't change this file, you will be using my credential, and once I change my credential, this code will not work. Okay, I hope till here everything is fine. Venkata, you can use it, but it's usually suggested to use your own website. If you have your own website, it's better to go to your own website. Akash, you can just go to Google, search for school and space FyersV3. I'll just show you. Uh, Go to Google, school FyersV3. So you'll find our link. Oh, cannot find it. School.com. I think you have to go to school.com and then search for FyersV3. See, this is our community. If you are our active student, just message me. I'll tell you how to get into the community. Also, if you click on about, you'll see the features of the community. Just play this video, you'll come to know more about it. Okay. All right. So these are all the code that I've already written. I'll take this as a reference. So these are all the important credentials that you need. Okay. First, you need client ID, secret key, and redirect URL. So I'll copy these three things and I'll paste it here. First is client ID. From where I can get the client ID? I'll go to my API. So this is my client ID. So I'll just copy this and I will paste it here. This is the first thing. Second thing is a secret key. So this is my secret key. So I'll just copy this and paste it. Again, I'm repeating, do not reveal these credential to anyone. Okay. If they get your credential, they can trade on your behalf, which is illegal in India. Then redirect URI. So here I have specified my website URL. So if I just go to click on edit, I'll find the website URL. So I'll just copy this and I will paste it here, which is the same. Okay. Three things you'll get from your app. One is your client ID, one is secret key, and one is redirect URL. I'll save the file. Now, if I want to access, I can easily access this from this. So I'll write crs dot client ID, crs dot secret, and if I run the code, I have both client ID and secret key. Okay, and notice that I'm using virtual environment. You see, .venv means I'm using virtual environment. If I look at the packages installed in this, there are none. So if I write pip3 freeze, you'll see none of the packages are installed in this virtual environment. I will be installing all the necessary package which are needed for this library. Okay, so this is the first step, that is getting your client ID, secret key, and redirect URI. Okay, now the next step is verifying yourself. Now, once you have the credential, you need to verify that you are the one who is using this credential. How will you verify? So you have to use their API. I'll explain it on their website itself. So if you go and if you scroll down, okay, if you scroll down, they have provided a graph or a diagram. Scroll down again. This is the, so first step is you need to create an app, which we have already created. If you scroll down, they have shown the login flow. Now this diagram is quite important. Okay, this will explain you how their API works. Now this will vary from broker to broker. What some broker do, they just give you the API. They don't want you to verify yourself again. But this broker wants you to verify yourself again. Now, how will you verify? You need to write your mobile number. You need to write your 4-digit key, and then you need to press enter to verify yourself. Okay, I'll explain again. So see what they are telling. Once you have client ID and redirect URI, you have to use this library that they have provided to create a link. Once you go to their link, you have to verify yourself. Once you verify yourself, they'll give you auth code. Once you get the auth code, you have to create the access token. Okay, I'll just try to explain it in a more detailed way. So this is your Python file. So by using client ID, secret, you will generate a link. Okay, this link I'll explain, I'll show you how to generate in few minutes. But once you generate this link, you have to go to this link. So this link will be Fyers website. Fyers is the broker. Okay, here you have to verify yourself. When I say verify yourself, you have to write your username. Then you have to write your 4-digit key. And then you have to write your TOTP. It's kind of like a OTP thing, which you can do by using Google Authenticator. So these are the three things you have to write. Once you write these three things, it will give you a new link. Okay, this will give you a new link. And in this link, you'll have auth code. Okay, so by using client ID and secret key, you have to go to the Fyers website. You have to verify yourself. Once you write your information correctly, they'll give you the auth code. Once you have the auth code, you need to use this auth code to get access token. Now this access token is very important. Without this access token, you cannot use the API. Okay. And to generate an access token, you need auth code. And each time you verify yourself, it gives you a new auth code. Okay. Like once you verify yourself, it will give you a auth code, and you can use that auth code only once to generate the access token. And this access token is valid for the entire day. Okay. You can say for the current day, it will be valid. And this you have to do every day. If you want to run your strategy on this broker, you have to generate a access token, new access token every day. Okay, without this, you cannot run your strategies. Now you'll see in few broker, you don't have to do these things. Once you get the API key and secret key, you can directly trade. You don't need to verify yourself every day. But due to some regulation, I think they had to add this extra layer of security. Okay, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Now, previously in my previous videos, I have shown you how to automate these things. Okay, but now sadly it is not possible. Why? Because they also have added a human verification. Because of this human verification, I cannot automate this, and even you cannot automate because there is a human verification. So the only way to solve this problem is you have to manually verify yourself every day. Okay, I hope this is clear, and I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, there are some comments. Donga, you can message me privately. I'll let you know everything, okay, about the school. Okay. Now the first thing is we need to install a library. If you scroll down on their API, they have provided a Python Fyers Python library. So I'll just click on it. Once you click on it, you'll go to pypy.org, and this is the library that we need to install. Now do not install the version 2 by mistake. Make sure you install the version 3. Okay, it's a latest version that they have right now. Now they might increase it to version 4. So few of the features that I am showing you in this video might not be valid if they update to version 4. I don't know. Okay, I might come up with new videos in that case. So I'll just copy this. I'll open the terminal and I'll install this. Paste. Now for Mac OS, you have to write pip3. So I'll just change this to pip3. If you have a Windows OS, you don't have to write pip3. You can just write pip install. For Mac, I'm writing pip3. This will install the library. Okay. By the time it is installing, let's take a look at the documentation a bit more. Now these are all REST API. Like I'm assuming you guys know. If you don't know, you can watch my other videos to understand what is REST API and all. Now, if you scroll down, so we have done the app creation step. We have also understood the flow, how the flow works. The same thing they are explaining it in the diagram. If you scroll down, now this is the sample code that they have given. If you go on the right side, they have provided the sample code for Python. So I'll just copy this and I'll come to my code. I'll go to login.py and I'll just paste it here. I think I've successfully installed the library. So if I just type pip3 freeze, you'll see these are all the packages that are required to run this library. Okay, the most important package is Fyers API version 3 itself, which is this one. The others are dependencies which are required. Okay, so I've copy pasted the code. Now I'll scroll down, I'll remove the output. These are all the output that they are showing. So I'll just remove this. And yeah, so what we need, first we need client ID, then we need secret key, then we need redirect URI, then we need response type, and then we need state. Now this response type and state will have the default value. Response type is code and the state is sample state. So even if you don't edit this, it's fine. The only thing we need to edit is these three things, which we already have in our credentials.py. Okay, so I'll just import it. How to import it? Here I'll write crs dot client ID. Here I'll write crs dot secret key, and here I'll write crs dot redirect URI. So I have all the three things ready. Now what they are doing, what we have to do from Fyers API version 3. So library name is Fyers API version 3. In that they have created a class called Fyers model. Okay. Now, not class, you can say it's kind of a file. And in this file, they have a class called session model. Okay. Now this session model will take 4 parameter: client ID, secret key, redirect URI, and response type. Now, once you make an object of this session model, you will get a session object. And in this session object, there is a function called generate auth code. So this will generate a link. Okay, let's take a look at what the output will look like if I run this code. Okay, let's run this code. So I'm just printing the response. Okay, you can see they are giving me a link. Okay, as I told you, once you have the API key, secret key, and redirect URI, you have to use the library and you have to generate a link. Okay, on my iPad I showed you, right? This is the link I was talking about. Now I'll just copy this link and I'll go to I'm opening this in a incognito tab. New private window. I'll just paste it here. See, the moment you go to the link, it will ask you to verify yourself. And before even verifying yourself, it will verify if you're a human. If you're not a human, if you are writing some code to do the automation, you'll fail. Okay. So this is how the UI looks like. Okay, now I have to verify myself. How will I verify? First I have to write my client ID. So click on login with client ID. Now here you have to write client ID. Now this client ID and this client ID is different. Okay, this is one common problem everyone will face. Everyone will think that this client ID, like this thing that we just got, we have to type it here. That's not the case. This client ID is different. What is this client ID? If you go to your Fyers account, like if you just go to fyers.in, now on the top you see you have your account number. Okay, this is my account number XX45474. This is the ID that they need. Okay, so I'm going to call it account ID. So again, a credential, right? So if you want, you can write it, or if you don't want, don't write it, it's fine. So my account ID is this. I've already noted it down. So I'll write my client ID. Okay, then I'll click on continue. Then it will ask me for a 6-digit TOTP. Now, what is this TOTP? Now, if you go to your Fyers account, product, I think you'll find it in here. Access my account. They have an option for TOTP. Manage account. If you scroll down, you'll see they have an external 2FA TOTP. Now, two things are needed to verify yourself. One is this PIN and one is this TOTP code. For those of you who don't know TOTP, I'll explain you what you have to do. You have to enable the TOTP. They'll give you a QR code. You have to go to your app store and you have to download Google Authenticator app. Once you download Google Authenticator app, you have to scan the code, and the Google Authenticator app will keep generating a new 6-digit code every, I think, 60 second or 30 second. Okay, I'll repeat. You have to download the Google Authenticator app. You have to scan the QR code that will be generated here. And in your Google Authenticator app, there will be a 6-digit code which will be updated every, I think, 30 second. I don't know the second, but after every 30 second or 60 second, that 6-digit code is updated. Okay. Now I've already done it, so I am not going to do it again. Now, if you want to get this TOTP by Python, that also you can do. You need to copy the TOTP code. Okay. So I've already copied it. I'm not going to do it again. This is my TOTP key. Okay. This is my TOTP key, which is needed. Now you should never share this key with anyone. I'm sharing it because I'm going to change it after the session. Okay. So I'll just copy this TOTP key and I'll make a new file. Let's call it auth, not auth, TOTP auth dot py. And in here, I'm going to paste it. And I need a new library. I need to install a library, and the library name is PyOTP. Now, this PyOTP library will do the same work what Google Authenticator is doing. What Google Authenticator is doing? It is generating a 6-digit unique key every 30 seconds. So the same 6-digit auth key will be generated by this library, and the library name is PyOTP. Okay, this is the library name. So I'll just copy this code and I'll just paste it here. Okay, so I need to install this. So I'll just go to the terminal and I'll write pip3 install PyOTP. OTP. Wait. I'll just go to Google and search install PyOTP. Install PyOTP. So we'll find this website. Just copy this and paste it. And just change this to pip3. This will install the library. Now you see, once you have your TOTP key and once you have installed the library, and if you write this code, so this code is simply calling the TOTP class, and in TOTP class we are calling the now function. This now function will generate a 6-digit OTP. So if I run the code, I'll get the 6-digit OTP. So this is the OTP that you need to type over there. Okay. So if I run it again, the OTP will change in few seconds. You see, right now it ends with 716. It will change in few seconds. So by the time it is changing, so here I have to write the TOTP. Okay. So let's run it again. See, they have changed. Now it is 935 795 795. I click on confirm TOTP. Then you have to write your 4-digit pin. This 4-digit pin, you will find it on your account itself. So here you have to set a new pin. So my pin right now is 8080. Okay. So I'll write here 8080 and I'll click on sign in. Now, once I click on sign in, it will ask me if I accept the terms and condition. I'll click on accept. I accept and click on continue as this account. Now, once I verify myself, it will redirect me to feserpro.com, the website that I have provided. You just need to copy this link. Okay, I'll just copy this and I'll come to my login.py and I'll make a new link called response link. Link is equal to this. Okay, now I'll just close the terminal. Okay, now keep in mind that this link that you have got, each time you verify yourself, you'll get a unique link. You'll not get the same link. If I verify myself again, you'll see the link will be different. Now in this link, we have a auth code. Okay, now how to get the auth code from this link, that I'll explain you now. Now if you look at the link carefully, see there are a few components in this link. First, they have specified my website name. Then they have a question mark. Then they have s equal to OK. Then they have and code is equal to 200. And they have and auth code equal to, and the auth code starts from E. So auth code starts from E and it goes till, if you go to the end, it goes till state, and state, see at the end it is and state equal to none. So I don't want this and state equal to none. So from this point till this point, this is my auth code. Okay, so I've selected my auth code. See, this is my auth code. Now from this response link, I need to get this auth code, right? This section, because this is the entire link. I don't want everything from the link. I just want the auth code from the link. Okay, so how can I do this? We can use simple slicing, which I have already written the code for this. So this is the code. Now, if you type the link, so what you have to do, I have written a simple code where I am taking the input. So this link you have to type in the terminal. Once you type the link, it will slice the auth code from it. So this is the simple slicing code that I have written, which will get the code from E till this QO. Okay, I'll try to explain it again what I'm doing. So there is a new URL, the same URL, and then this is the starting index and this is the ending index. Okay, how am I getting starting index? Starting index is uh, auth code equal to, this is my start index. So it will, once I get the index of this, then I need index of and state, which is at the end. This. So I'm just slicing by specifying starting index colon ending index. Nothing complicated. And I'm printing it. Okay. Now to make your life more easier, what you can do, you can also use a library called web browser. Now this is an optional thing, but if you want, you can use it. So if I just paste it here, now I think it is already installed. This library is also installed. What I'll do, see, this response is a link. Okay. I have to go to that link. I have to verify myself and get the auth code. So going to the link manually can be automated by using this web browser library. So what we will do, I'll just use this function web browser.open. Okay, web browser.open, and you have to, this URL that you have generated, I'll just paste this URL here. Now what this code will do, this will, the moment you run the code, this code will open that website where you have to verify yourself. Once you verify yourself, it will generate a link. That link you have to paste it on the terminal. Okay, I'll show you how it looks like if I run the code. So I'll just comment this. Now imagine that I don't have a code. I don't have the auth code and I'm running this code. If I run it, it will take me to the link. See, it is taking me to the link. Now, once you verify yourself, once you don't have to verify yourself again on that entire day, the browser automatically verifies you as the user. So see, I've got the link. So I'll just copy this link. You just need to copy the link and you need to just paste it here. Okay. Now, if I press enter, you'll see I'll get the auth code. See, this is my auth code starting from E till WE. Now, each time you run the code, you'll get a new auth code. Okay. Now, once you have the auth code, now you have to get the access token. Without the auth code, you cannot get the access token. And this is the code to get the auth code. You have to run the code. You have to go to the link, verify yourself, copy the link and paste it on the terminal. And your code will have the new auth code each time you execute the code. Now, in order to get the access token, this is the simple code you have to write. You have the auth code. Now we need access token. So what you have to do, you have to create an app session. Go to the API documentation. If you scroll down, this code is to generate auth code. Step 1, you can see parameter for step 1. And if you scroll down, they have a step 2. So if you go to Python, they have given a code to generate access token. See, this is the code. This is the code to generate access token. Now, we don't really have to copy the entire code because I've already created a session object. So I'll use the same session object. Okay. So I'm not going to create a new session. So I'll just write session dot set token auth code and session dot generate token. This will generate the response. Let me just print the response and show you how the response looks like. I'll comment this and I'll run the code. Again, it will take me to the browser. Okay, I'll just copy the link. I'll paste it here and press enter. You see, it is saying S error message, please provide a valid grant type. So what I have done, I think I've made a mistake somewhere. Grant type. Okay, so here I didn't specify the grant type. I have specified the response type. I also have to specify grant type. How do you come to know? How do I know I have to provide grant type? If you scroll down, if you look at the step 2, they have specified the grant type. See, they have specified grant type. So you have two options. Either you can make a session object again, or you can use the same code. Let's create a session object again. Okay, it's one and the same thing. So I'll just copy the code and I will just paste it here. So this is grant type. Uh, Oh, okay. So grant type is authorization code. Okay, okay, my bad. I think here I have to specify auth code. So I'll just specify auth code, and mm, so Monish, auth code will expire. There is no expiry date. The moment you get the auth code, you have to use it to generate the access token, and that auth code can only be used once. If you try to generate it again, it will throw an error. So grant type, I have to write authorization code. This is my grant type. Okay. So I need to copy this grant type and paste it here. Copy this grant type and paste it here. Okay. So now we are making a new session object. Wait. Yeah, this is correct. Then you have to set auth code. You have to generate a response. So I'll get some response. Okay. I'm going to run the code again. Now you'll see I'll get a new response, and this response I'll get access token. Let's run it. I'll copy the link. I'll paste it here. Press enter. Now you see this is my new access token. You can see refresh token equal to this from E, it goes till here. This is my access token that I need. So what I'll do, I've written a new code which will simply save this access token in a file, and the file name is access.txt. Okay. So from this access token, it will get the access token and it will simply write it into a file, and the file name will be access.txt. Now, whenever you run your strategy, this is the first thing you'll do. You are going to run this login.py file. Once you run the login.py, it will take you to the browser. You will verify yourself. You'll copy the code and you will paste it on the terminal. Once you paste it on the terminal, then it will generate a file and the file name will be access.txt. So now the entire code is ready. Okay, my login code is ready. So let's run the code and see if it is working or not. I'll run it. It will first give me the link. It will open the link. I just need to verify myself. Now, if I open the same link again tomorrow, I have to write my API key, secret key and all. You don't have to do it again and again for that day. If you are using the same browser, if you change the browser again, you have to write your credential. I'll copy this and I will paste it here and I'll press enter. That's it. You see, I have a new file called access.txt. This is the code that is needed to access their API. Okay. So I know this is a long step, but we don't have any other options. We have to follow the steps. Any doubt in getting the access token? So the first step before moving to anything else is to get the access token, which you can easily get by running this code. All you have to do is change your these three things you have to get right. Okay, client ID, secret key, and URI. If you change this thing properly, everything else remains the same. Now, if you want TOTP, you can run this code. If you run this code, it will generate a TOTP. You can paste the TOTP. You don't have to go to your mobile phone again and again. Now, the reason why I'm providing you with this code is because if you are on a computer, if you want to run your code, so you don't have to go to your mobile phone, right, to look at the 6-digit TOTP. So that you can easily do just by writing this simple Python code. Any doubt, anyone till here? I'll repeat again for those of you who are confused. There are three things. See, you have to create an app on Fyers API. You have to get your client ID and secret key. You have to write a Python code to generate a link. Okay. Once you go to the link, it will take you to the Fyers website. You have to verify yourself. This website will give you auth code. Okay. Now, each time you go to the link, it will generate a new auth code. And this auth code can be only used once to generate a access token. Okay, so by using this auth code, we have to use Python. We have to call a function to generate access token. Now the validity of this access token is the entire day. Once you have access token, you can use it for the entire day. Next day again, you have to generate this new access token. This access token, I'm saving it in a file called access.txt. So Venkata, if you want TOTP key, you need this TOTP key, which you can get it on your account. If you go to your account, just click here and click on manage account. If you scroll down, you'll find this external 2FA 280 TOTP. You need to enable this. It will give you a QR code, and to the next to QR code, you'll find a, maybe I can show you. I don't know if I can show you. Okay, I think I can show you. See, I'll just disable it. I'll enable it again. See, this is the QR code. You need to scan this, or you need to click here. So I've copied the TOTP key and I'll just paste the TOTP key here. This is my key. See, this is the new key. This is the key that you need. And now you need to scan it on your mobile phone. Either you can scan it or you can run this code. If I run this code, it will give me the 6-digit OTP, that is 3577. So I'll write the same thing here. 3577 44. And my pin is 8080. I'll click on enable. It's done. So this is how you can get this TOTP key. Now you don't have to go to your mobile phone again and again. You can just do it from here. You just need to run this again and again. It will give you a new TOTP key. All right. Now let's move to the API again. Now we have completed the verification step, that is getting the access token. If you scroll down, they have provided with some best practices. You can see they are saying that never share your app secret, never share your access token, do not provide trading permission, provide a redirect URL which is in your control. So see, FyersPro.com is in my control, so I'm specifying FyersPro.com. You should send a random value for the state parameter. Okay, like for now you can skip this or you can research about it. So they are saying that for the state parameter you have to send some random number. Then what else? I think that's it. Okay, now there are a few components of all the broker API. Let me explain you that, then I will understand each of them in more detail. It doesn't matter which broker you take, you will find few functions which are very important. Okay, first is profile. Now in profile, there should be a function which should give you the current balance, like how much cash you have. Second, what is your order? Open orders or your any order that you have placed, you should get the list of all the orders. The third is position. What is your current active position? How many stocks you have? What is the validity? Is it intraday or it's like cash and carry, whatever? These three informations you need to know for profile. Then data. Okay, in data you should be able to get historical data. Historical data means historical candle data. Then quote data. When I say quote data, it means the latest price of an instrument. Now the price of an instrument changes every second. So if you want the latest price, there should be a function called quote, which will give you the latest price of that instrument. Okay, these are the two things you need for data. And then you need order. So your broker should at least be able to place market order and limit order. Now if your broker can place stop order, this is better. If your broker can place bracket order, it's also good. Cover order is also good, but these two are mandatory. Without these two, if your broker cannot place a limit order, you have to go for different broker. And the last thing is WebSocket. So usually I use two type of WebSocket. One is uh, live data stream, means you get live price of a live update of the instrument every second. Okay, it depends on broker to broker. Few broker will give you every 250 millisecond, to few broker will give you every second. But usually you don't have to make a call again and again. Once you start a WebSocket, the broker will continuously send you the live data. And the next thing is order socket. Now this is not that important, but if you have it, it's better. This is mandatory. Without this also, you cannot go ahead with the broker. These are the minimum features of any API that should exist. First is profile, that is you need the current balance, you need the open orders, you need the position. Second is data, you should be able to get the historical data, you should be able to get the live data, that is quote. Then order, minimum market order and limit order you should be able to place. And WebSocket, two WebSocket, one is data socket, one is order socket. Now what is the difference in data socket and order socket? When you start a data socket, you continuously get the data from the server, from the broker. Let's say you started the WebSocket for Nifty 50. So you'll continuously get the data for Nifty 50. Now what is order socket? In order socket, if you place a order, now the order will not get filled instantly. Let's say you place the limit order or stop order. Now you don't know when the order will get filled, right? So you need some way for a broker to send you information that your order got filled, cancelled, or anything happens to the order should be updated back to you. And this update you can get from the order socket. Okay, I hope the difference between WebSocket and order socket is clear. Okay, I have some questions. Will this session be available? Yes, Donga. Can we use local host for redirect URI? Venkata, you have to explore that. I haven't done it. I think you should. I'm not sure. Okay, you have to explore the local host one. Okay. Now, what we will try to do today we'll at least try to complete the profile and the data. Okay. Tomorrow we'll try to complete order and WebSocket. Once we cover the basic stuff, then I'll show you how to use these topics to create an end-to-end strategy. Okay. Now I already have a file called basicinfo.py. Okay. So I'll create a same file again here. So I'll rename my file. So I'll, instead of login, I'll just click on rename and I'll write one.login. Okay. Then I'll create a new file called two.profile.py. Okay. So in profile.py, if you want to run, you need these information. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here. So I don't really need the OS library for now. I need the pandas library. So how to install pandas? Just open the terminal and just write pip 3 install pandas. This will install the pandas library. I need the client ID, I need the secret key, and I need the redirect URI, which I already have. Now see, I have two options. One is I can import it from credentials, or I can directly copy this. Okay. Now when I'll create an end-to-end strategy, in that I'll import it. For now, I'm directly copying it. Copy this and go to your profile and just paste it. These are my new client ID, secret key, and this. Then what I'm doing, I'm going to access this access.txt file. And from this access.txt file, I'll get the access token. And I'll just print the access token now. Print access token. Now, no matter which file you will see, in all the file, you'll find this code common. Because without this code, I cannot do anything. Okay, this is like the basic code that is required. You need client ID, secret key redirect, and you need access token. So if I run the code, you'll see access token will be printed. And keep in mind that access token is quite long. It's not short, it's quite long. It's taking too much time. Maybe I'll just run it again. I do have the data. You can see it just printed the access token. This is my access token which starts from here, from E till it goes till G. This is how long the access token is. Okay. Now, if you click on profile, if you scroll down, just click on Python. So the first function they have provided is called get profile. So get profile will give you the basic information. Okay. I'm not going to run this. You can run it if you want. I'm not going to run it. Now, before running, you need to create a Fyers object. So I'll show you for the funds one. If you scroll down, if you click on Python, they have a section called funds. I'll just copy this 3 line of code. Copy and paste. So first you have to create a Fyers object, Fyers model object. So in their library, they have a class called Fyers model. In Fyers model, you have to specify the client ID. You have to specify the access token. Now what? Then the third argument is async equal to true. This we will explore later. But for now, if I have to give you overview, when you write is async equal to true, this Fyers object will be a async object. Now, when I say async object, it means by using this async object, you can call the function asynchronously. Now, when I say asynchronously, it means you can call multiple function concurrently. Okay. Now, you might ask me, why do we need this? Now, when you design a little complex strategy, which requires multiple things to execute at the same time, like you continuously want the data from the socket, okay, and you need to check your condition. If your condition is true, you need to place an order. Now, see, I'm doing two things at the same time. I'm getting the data, I'm checking the condition, and I'm placing the order also. So two things needs to be executed at the same time. This cannot be done uh, until and unless you use the concept of concurrent programming. In concurrent programming, we run two things at the same time, like one at a time. This is called concurrent programming. And this can be achieved by using async, is async equal to true. So for now, I'll just write it false. Okay. Uh, if we discuss about advanced strategy, in that this need to be changed to true. And the last thing is log path. This you can write, leave it blank. I think this will should not create a problem. And I'll run the code. Let's take a look at the response. So it is saying could not authenticate user. I don't know why. Let me check. My client ID is right. Access token is right. Maybe I have to verify myself again. Let's verify myself again. I'll run this code. It will take me to the website. I'll copy this and I'll paste it on the terminal. Access token is also created. I will go to profile. All three of them are correct, right? Credential. Yes, I've written everything correct. I'll run this code again. See, now it is giving me some response. I'll show you the response now. See, until and unless you get the correct access token, your code will not work. Once you run it, so this is the type of response you'll get. Now, no matter any API call you do, if the API call is correct, your code will be 200. Keep in mind, 200 means the entire step was proper. There was no mistake in the step. If it shows some other code, it means you have done some mistake. The moment I see code equal colon 200, it means everything is working fine. Now, after code equal to 200, they have, so it's a dictionary. You can see it's a dictionary. And inside the dictionary, the first key value pair is code colon 200, then message colon empty string, s colon OK, and fund limit equal to a list. And inside a list, again, there is a dictionary. Inside a dictionary, we have a key value pair. This is ID 1, title, total balance, equity amount, commodity amount, then again a dictionary. So what we want is we want this entire list of dictionary. And what I'll do to properly view the data, I'll convert this list of dictionary to a data frame. Now this is very easy. Okay, once you get a response, from this response, what you want, I need to get the fund limit. Okay, see, I'll write data is equal to response dot get. I'll write fund underscore limit. this will give me this list of dictionary, right? I'll just print the data, print data. Let's remove this response print and let's remove this access token print. And let's just look at that list of dictionary. Now, whenever you have a list of dictionary like this, you can easily convert it into a data frame. You just need to write pd dot data frame, and inside the data frame, you'll send the data. And I'll write df equal to this, and I'll write print df. Now, this is the normal data and this is the data frame. You can see all the data. You can see this is my total balance, this is my clear balance, this is my limited start of the day, available balance, everything is there. So whenever I get any type of data, I try to convert it into a data frame so that I can view the data properly. It's not mandatory, but just for the proper view, I'm converting it into a data frame. So in this, the important is this available balance. You can either go for available balance, or you can, yes, available balance is a good parameter you can store. Then if you want to get your holdings, that what are the stocks, any instrument that you have traded, if you scroll down, they have another section which will give you list of all the holdings. If you click on Python, you just need to call the holding function. And you can again convert the holding function, the data that you're getting from the holding function, into a data frame by using pd.dataframe. Okay. Now, the only important data that I need is how much cash I have. So I'm not going to explore this holding for now. Okay. I'll scroll down. Now, this is important, that is transaction info. From here, the actual things start. So till here, we verified ourselves, we got the access token, and we also got how much money we have in the in our broker account. Now we need to get our order book. So in order to get your order book, I've written a function. So there are three things. One is trade book, one is order book, and one is position. First, I'll show you order book. I'll write order book. Now, when I say order book, don't get confused with the other order book. When I say order book, it means order placed by me. Now, order book also means the bid and ask order book, which you can directly get from the exchange. Okay, there are a lot of bids, there are a lot of ask, how much the bid quantity, ask quantity, that is also called order book. So don't get confused. This is a order. When I say this order book, it means I mean to say the orders that I have placed. So we just call the order book function. Now, if the order book response exists, we'll convert it into a data frame. And if the order book doesn't exist, we'll create an empty data frame. Okay, right now, if you take a look at my account, if I go to my trading terminal, if you click on orders, I don't have any orders right now. See, I don't have any order. But if I run this code, the data frame will be empty. See, if I'll just run this, let me just remove this. This is the first data frame and the second data frame is empty. Why empty? Because I don't have any order book. Now tomorrow when I'll show you how to place an order, if I place any order, you'll see some data in the order book. I can show you right now. See, if I try to place an order on gold, I just click on gold. I'll click on buy one quantity. Now I don't have enough balance to buy the stock, but if I buy, I'll see an order and the order will is cancelled. You see, the reason why the order got cancelled is margin shortfall. I don't have this much money. If I add this much fund, only then the order will go through. And you can see the order is in rejected stage. Now there are different stages of order, which we'll discuss tomorrow in more detail. Not tomorrow, the next week in more detail. So I'll run the same code again. If I run the same code again, now there will be one row in my data frame. You see, I have a single row in the data frame. Okay, if I place another order, there will be another order in my data frame. So what we are doing, what we have just done, we have just wrote a code which will automatically fetch any order placed on our account, which is quite helpful to design our strategy. Okay. If you don't have any order, it will give you an empty data frame. If you have some order, it will give you a data frame like this, which has different column. If you want to take a look at all the column, what you can do, you can write order df dot to CSV. And you can write order dot CSV. Now, if I run the code, it will create a new file and the file name will be order.csv. So it has created order.csv. If I click on the file, you can read the information about your order. So this account, the order was placed by account this, exchange is 11, FY token. Then if I go right, see it is also giving me the message. This is the message. Margin shortfall. It will give you the order number. Lot of things it gives you. Last price. This is the last price. The order validity is day. We'll go through this in more detail in our next week session. Okay. So first thing is order book. Like the first thing is how much money you have. Then you need to get all the order books, that is any order placed by you. The third thing is you need to get your position. So I've already written the code. This is the code. So this code will either give you an empty data frame or it will give you a data frame which consists of all of your position. So if I run the code right now, it will give me empty. Why empty? Because if you take a look at my all position, I don't have any position right now. So this will give me an empty data frame. The moment something gets filled, the order gets filled, something gets added to my position, that position will be reflected in this data frame. Okay. And the last is you need your holding trades. Now see, there are three stages. One is you place an order. The order will go to the exchange. Once the order is accepted, now we call it a trade. Okay. So there is two things. One is order book, one is trade book. Trade book will consist all the trade which got filled. Okay. And once the trade got filled, that instrument will be added to your position. So if you want to get the information about all the trades, you need to copy this. You need to call the trade book function. I'll just write trade book. So this code is simply calling the trade book function and then using the same. If the trade book exists, it will create a data frame. Otherwise, it will create an empty data frame. Now, why am I doing this? This I'll explain you when we will design the strategy. Okay, I will just copy paste this code. So if I run it again, now there will be a new empty data frame. See, there are two empty data frames. This is the first empty data frame, then the second empty data frame. This is position, this is trade book. Okay, so these are all the things. Like the first component of any API, even if you go to any other broker, you should first try to get these information. You need to try getting the funds first, then try getting the order book, try getting the position, try getting the trade book. Like trade book is also not that important. These two information is more important. So I guess we are running out of time. In our next session, we'll start with historical data. Okay, I'll show you how you can get historical data for any instrument. Now, before moving to the instrument, we should know how to create an instrument name, right? Because when you say infi, like this is not a problem for Indian broker, but if it's an international broker, it creates a problem because infi stock is traded in India also, it is traded in US also. So which instrument are we talking about? Okay, but even in India, there are so many stocks. So there is a method that Fyers follow, and I'll also tell you what other brokers follow. So different brokers follow different method. In Fyers, we need to create a string, and that string needs to follow some rules. That also I'll discuss tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, next week. So I guess that's it for today. Uh, any doubt before I end the session? Same Thursdays, 6 p.m.